Okay, so we'll begin with the pivot table. So the pivot tables are tools in data analytics that will allow us analyze, explore, and present very large amounts of data in. So we select particular columns of the data and use it for maybe the kind of reports that we want. So generally, it is a summarizing tool. So we use it for summarizing or reorganizing the data so that we can get particular reports that we want to get from the data sets. I believe my voice is clear enough.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So the pivot table is a summarization tool that is used in the context of data processing. So we can use it to organize and then summarize selected columns and rows of our data to obtain a particular report that we want. And we have some components of this. We have the rows. So, and you need to take note of these particular ones. The row is for category and the categories we want to analyze. Mostly we use categorical data in the row section. We use the categorical data there. And what are categorical data? Data that categorizes like groups into different group like category A, B, and C. So those are categorical data. So in a pivot table, the rows, you can drag columns, categorical columns into the row section. And then for the columns is another level for categorization, but they can help us to compare different segments of our data. The values are numerical numbers that you want to summarize. So the numbers can be sum, can be averages, can be counts, can be any type of aggregation that we want. And then we can use filters to make the table look in particular ways, maybe using subset of the data. So these are the steps that we use. We'll go into all this that we use to do our pivot table. You need to select the data that you want. So selecting the data, then you can use the pivot table and then you can start your analysis. So I'll not waste much time on this. This we'll do it practically and then you see what we mean by this. So I'll be sharing my screen to my Excel. I've not opened my Excel. Okay, let me open it. So let me open my Microsoft Excel. It's not yet open. So we'll be working on the first data. There and that's a hypothetical data set. So that's the one we'll be using in the class here. So can download it into your computer and start the analysis. So I'm opening my Excel. So I'll be sharing my screen very soon. Okay. So I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, this is my Excel. Can we all see my shared screen now? Can we all see my shared screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So we'll be using this hypothetical data and sales data, the one I sent to you on the group. So I'll be opening that. So this is what we have. It has 5 columns. So the columns are our features. Then the rows are the observations. So we have up to how many rows? Yeah, we have 101 rows. Yeah. So 100 observation, that's minus the title. So I 101, 100 observations. So the first column here is the date column. Then we have the region column, product column, salesperson column, and then the sales amount column. So if we look at these, we may not get information quickly by just looking at this data. And that is why the pivot table becomes very important for us to do. So let me define each of these. So the date is it tells us the date of the sales record, the date that the record was made. And then the region is where it was done, the place it was. The product is the type of product. The salesperson is the person that made the sales. So we'll be using pivot table to summarize this data. Now we can see our rows are not much, but the one you'll be working on has more than 1,000 rows. So as the number of rows increases, it becomes difficult to just look at the table to analyze the data. And then, so that's why the pivot table becomes very, very important. So let's see. The first step that we said when using pivot table is that you have to select your data. So we can select our data. If I click here, it's selecting even the place I don't want. So I can just do Control A to select my data, and see it has been selected. So I've selected the data. Are we following? If you have loaded your data so that everybody can participate in this, this is practical, so it will be good as you are following. So are we in phase? Let me use my physics term. Are we in phase?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, so our data have been selected. So the next step from the step we listed is you will need to insert the pivot table. And how do we insert our pivot table? So you go to the insert tab. You can see pivot table is here on the insert tab. So you just click on that. You click on it. It will ask you to whether you work on an existing So we will use a new worksheet. So it will open another worksheet to this. So click OK. So good. So it has taken us to where we will have our pivot table. So you can see different things showing. You can see here it's showing pivot table field by your left hand, this pivot table field, and these are the, you can see all these are the columns that we have. We call columns fields. Another name for columns are fields. So these are fields. So we have date, region, product, sales person, and the sales amount. And then we can see what we discussed earlier, the rows, the values, the columns, and filter. I'll say the rows contains categorical data. So now you should ask yourself, what do I want to summarize? So let's say, since this is a sales data set, and we already have looked at the columns and what each of those columns represent. So let's look at, let's do a pivot table of total, let's say total sales. Let's say total sales by region. Total sales by region. So for us to have a pivot table of total sales by region, that means our, now let me ask us a question before I continue. Which of these columns or fields should we drag to the row if we are getting the total sales by region? Total sales by region. So I want on the charts, or you can talk, or you can send a message on the start what we should do. We want to get the total sales by region. So which of these fields should we drag to the row? Because we are dragging, we'll be dragging them either to the column, the rows, or to values. So which of them should we drag to the rows if we are to get the total sales by region? Any idea on that?
The region can go to the row.
Region, excellent, because region, they are categorical variable data. So can see, I can click here and then bring it to, you can see is now, the region is now in the row section. So can see region in the row now. Then let's come to the column. So what should be in the column? Remember, we want to get total sales by region. You can see what I've shown. You can see the regions I've shown. How many regions do we have? We have 4 regions: East, North, South, and West. These are the 4 regions we have in our data set. So now, but what we want to get is the total sales by region. So how do we, what should we put in the value region? Value. What should we put under the value? So for the value, since we are getting the total sales by region, so the value should be sum of sales amount. So we are picking the sales amount and then we'll drag it to these values. Then you see it has given us the sum of sales amounts there. But you can, if you want to get the average of sales amount, you can do that. But here we want the sum of sales amount there. So, and that is what we are seeing here. So you can see the sum of sales amount. So our, so this is what we have now. Any questions so far? I can change this to be, let me change the row label name. Let's fix it as region. So let's here be region. So here is the sum of sales amount. So that means, so we have that the Southeast has the highest sales amount of, no, is it southeast? Southwest has the highest sale, this west, sorry, west has the highest sales amount of 44,380. Now, if we go back to our table, it's difficult to get that quickly. Let's go to our sheet 1, the main table. It is difficult to get this quickly, but you can see how the pivot table has summarized that data for us. Then you can do some other things there. When you click on this, you can do some other things here. So you can filter it, you can filter the values. You can see we can get only those that are greater than, let's say those that are greater than or equals to 40,000. So let's see 40,000. If the sum, so let's see, all of them are greater than 40,000. So that's why we have. So, but let's use another one. Let's filter it and say greater than 44,000, greater than or equals to 44,000. 44,000. So we can see 44,000. That's how many states. Just two regions have sum of sales amount greater than 44,000, and which is the East region and the West region. Let me go back to what we have before. So you can do many things from this alone. You can do many things from this. You can sort it. You can sort it from A to Z, from the highest to the. So I've sorted it from the highest. Then let me sort the sales amount. I've sorted this from alphabetically. Let me sort the more sort options. Okay. So there are many things you can. So top 10. So top items, the sum. And let's see. So you can see so many things you can do on this. So yours is to look for. So we've seen that we've gotten a summary of the total sales by region. So let's write total sales by region. Total sales by region. Let me merge them. Let's merge. Total sales by region. I just want to merge those two cells together. Why is this thing lagging behind? My Excel is slow this evening. I've been using my system for quite a long time today. So let me color that part so that to differentiate it from the rest. Let me use blue. This is just design. I'm just doing them to separate them. Let me make it white. Okay. So this is what we have here. So this is our sales by region. So we can do another analysis based on what we want. Let's say total sales by product. Let's analyze based on total sales by products. So how do we do that? Total sales by products. The same thing. We've already selected this. So I want to just copy it. I want to copy this and put it somewhere here. Ctrl V. I've copied it. But what I'll be doing, I'm not using this. So want to do total sales by products. By product. So I'll remove this. I'll put products in the row parts. Can see? So this is the total sale by product. So you can see we have only 4 products A, B, C, and D. And you can see the total sale by each of these products here. Now let's do another one. Let's see sales by salesperson and region. Let's see the salesperson that made the highest sale. Let me see, copy this. Sales by salesperson. Sales by salesperson. So I will just click here. So since we are doing sales by salesperson and region, sales by salesperson and region. So what should be in the row, what should be in the column, and what should be in the value? Now remember we have 2 things. Now let me write, sorry, so that you know what we are doing. Let me annotate. So we are doing sales. Why is this thing not writing well? Sorry, my pen is deciding to my function. Let me connect it back. Okay. So we're doing sales. Sales by, sorry, it's not writing. So I'll leave it. I'll not need to write. It's not writing well as I wanted. So our sales by salesperson and region. So our column will have to, our row will have to be salesperson. Our row, let me remove what we have here. Let me cancel everything. I'm canceling everything. So this is what we have. So our row will be salesperson. So I'm dragging the salesperson to the row. And see region, that's what we have. Salesperson to the row. Then I will move the column region. Region will carry the column. So we can see, and then we can say the amounts will be numerical. So this is what we have. But let me remove the column. Let's see the salesperson. Let me remove this region first. So let me remove the region. So the region is this, then the salesperson is here. So let's move this region. Salesperson. Good. Right, excellent. So this is the salesperson. It's showing region, that's it. So changes, these are not region, this is salesperson. So you just salesperson. So you can see the salesperson with the highest sale amount is this person, 44,380. So you can see we've been able to analyze this. Now let's see another pivot table that we can do. So why not, let's see, can we do the let's say the let me see what type of analysis can be done. Okay, let's see the average sales per day. Average sales per day. Let's see the average sales per day. You can decide to go back to your data set. So data, we select if you want to, sheet 1, that's where our data is. And then you can insert. So if you want to do like, if you don't want to copy pivot table, you can, since we have an existing sheet, let's use existing worksheets. And that is sheet 2. Let's leave that. So sheet 2. Sheet 2. Okay. Okay, let's leave this place. Okay, sorry, table range. Okay, okay, it's showing. Okay, this is the range. Okay, let's open a new worksheet on that. Good. So, well, so let's do the average sales per day. Since we want to get the average sales per day, our row should be dates. So we are picking the date to the row. And then the value should be sum of sales. So we are picking sales amount to values. So you can see what we have here. It has given us, so in January, we have a total of 38,068 amount there. That's the amount there. And February, we have this. So we can see that March has the highest sales amount of 66,340. March has that highest sales amount. So you can see, let's change this row label. That is months. So, but if you click on each one, this plus, you can see how it is been every day, what is happening every day in the month of January. So this is what sum to give this 38,068 for each day. But we don't need that breakdown, so I can close that. Yeah. So any question so far? Any questions so far?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, evening.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Now that we have the months from January to April, is it possible to do it just for 1 month?
Yes, that's where you can filter it. So you can do your filtering as you want. You can just unselect all these ones. Unselect the ones you don't need and leave for which particular month do you want. If it is January, so it's only January that is selected. Then you click OK. So you can see it's for only January. Has that answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any other question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Evening.
Yeah, you showed us a place where we can get the transaction that is taking place in each of the months.
Yeah,
Can you go back to
that's say on this data set. You can see where there is a plus here. Can you see the plus sign?
I can see any plus sign.
On this okay, let me see if I can
Is
zoom it.
it by the left or by the right?
Let me zoom it so you can see. Can you see it now? Close to that January, you see something plus January.
Yes.
So that plus sign, just click it to open up each day.
Oh, okay.
Then even for each day, you can even click the plus, you see what is happening there. So maybe just one transaction that day. If it were more than one transaction, you still see, but each of the as if we're only having one transaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can
Thank you, sir.
click it back and close it to have what. Okay. So we can still do many other things. Okay, we can do the average sales per day. So how do we do the average sales per day here? How do we do the average sales per day?
It will be date and sales amount.
Date and sales amount. Same thing, good with this. But since we need the average sales, so we need the average sales amount here. Now, normally, we'll be able to can see. Okay, let's start. Let me start from the beginning so that everybody can see. Let's go back to our data sheets. As this thing is selected, so let's click on Insert Pivot Table. So let's open a new worksheet. Okay, so since we are getting our average sales per day, so we are carrying dates. Let's take months to the row, and then sum of sales as our values. But now this is sum of sales, not average. So you click on this and click on this value field self setting. You will click on it. You see some other, this is for count, average, you can say average here. click on the average and click OK. It has given you the average of sales amounts. So this is the average for January. So that's the average sales amount. Okay. Any questions so far? Or another thing we can do, let's look at the product performance per region. Let's look at the product performance per region. Let me just copy this. Paste it. I don't want to start again. Let me put it here. So product performance per region. I'll click on it. So that means our row should carry. Let me unselect everything. So the row should carry the regions, then products. Our row should carry product performance per region. So region should go to the column. And then sales amount should go to this. So you can see product A, the sales are in north, just in north. Product B is in south. Product C is in the east, and product D is in the west. So can see how this pivot table is very important in summarizing data. So this is where we will stop from on that pivot table. So I sent a data set on a second data set on the group, so you can get that and work on different this thing. So I'll send question on what you can do with that. Okay, can I ask a question?
Hi, Emmanuel. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
So I've got a question. How about we put the region on rows? What happens?
Okay, so let's see. Let's put the
Because
region
here
on rows.
I'm trying to figure out where aside values, and I don't know where which goes. Like, how do you know where to put which one?
Okay, so let's see. Let's take region to the row. So it depends on what you want to achieve. So, and then you can see these ones, both of them we kept them in the row, both the product and the region. And you can see the form that the pivot table. If I click on this plus sign, you can see that product A is in the north. Product B is in the south, product C. But let's take the region. Was it region we dragged there? Okay. So let's take the region back and see. And the product to the column part. What do we have? So yours is what will make your analysis easy. Now, since we are doing product performance per region, so the region is a key field there. So that should be in the row.
Okay.
Because we are analyzing based on region, the product performance per region. So the region should be in the row.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. And any other? I saw somebody asking question. Okay.
Sorry. I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, how did you, I don't know the right word to use now. How do you determine the value for the column?
Okay, the values of the column.
Huh?
Okay, do you mean the field
Yeah.
that should be in the column and the field that should be in the row?
Yes, the level here is the value that should be in the column. How do you make the setting?
Okay, that's what was asked before now. Like, if based on what
Sorry, I
you
was
want
not saying
to,
that.
yeah, based on what you want to achieve, then let me go to worksheet 2. Now for this one, what we wanted to get was the total sales per region. So the region should be in the row. Since we want to get the total sales per region, so you just drag the region to the row, and then total sales should be in the value. We said the row and column can take categorical data, but the values region should take numerical data. But because some of sales amount are numbers, so that's why we are dragging the sales amount to the values side. But when we have two categorical fields, like the one we have here in our where we try to do product performance per region. So product is a categorical field. Region also is a categorical field. But since we are analyzing it based on the region, you can put the region in the row and product at the we can put the product here. You can see this one, we kept the region here. So you can put the region at the row and the product at the column. So just based on what you want to achieve. Now, if you move this one to here and you find that that is what is easier for you to understand or anybody to understand, it is better that way. So product should be, I prefer it this way. It's easier for me to understand this than this other one where I bring this and put this here. This one also is easy to understand. If your highlight is region, what you want to see in every region, you do it this way. But if your highlight is the product, you want to see more of the product, you can bring the product to the rows and then the region to this. So what you want to see is the product. Oh, product A, what is happening? Oh, product A here is in the north. But if your highlight, what you want to see more is the region. So I drag the region to the row, product to the column. Oh, then you can say in the east, which product is available in the east? East here, product C is what is available in the east. So all this, there's no one direct formula to it. It's based on how you want your data to be presented. I believe that has answered the question. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So that is for the pivot table. So the data set on the group is for your practice or the assignment to be doing. That one contains more than 1,000 rows. So that is where you see the beauty of the pivot table coming through. So you can check on that, and there will be a final project where you apply all the skills together to be able to create a very good data. So we'll get into visualizing what you want by using charts. We'll be creating dashboards also as we progress in the course. So the next thing we'll be looking at today, we have just 30 minutes. So we'll go back to our notes. So, okay, let's discuss advantage of using pivot table. So pivot table is very, very efficient because we can use it to summarize very large amount of data sets. Pivot table is flexible because you can easily adjust the structure of data. You can see from what we did, we adjusted the structure based on what we want to achieve. The perspective you are looking at it from, you can adjust your data to suit that perspective. Dynamic analysis. Pivot table can be quickly updated with new data. So if we go back to our data and update it with new information, it will be updated on the pivot table. And then visualization, we can easily visualize that using this. So let's check that visualization aspects of this. So let's go back and see. So let's go to first one we did here. So let's see. We want to insert a chart, a bar chart, to help us know what is happening. So let's insert our bar chart. So you can see, very easy. We've been able to visualize our data easily. Sorry. And we'll come back. You can see the visualization. We can see west, south, north, and east. These are regions. And you can even update it. If you just want to see only west and south, can just do it quickly here. So for easy visualization, pivot table is very, very good. And then you can share your insights with your stakeholders. So I'm going back to the notes. So the next thing will be looking at is the XLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP. XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So we use both the XLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP to find or search for specific data in Excel. So XLOOKUP is a newer function that offers more flexibility and power compared to the VLOOKUP. So let's look at this one. So let's see the VLOOKUP. This is the syntax for the VLOOKUP. And we're going to explain this one after the other, what this means. Now, what does VLOOKUP set? VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. This is, it stands for vertical lookup. So that's what it means, vertical lookup. And what does it do? It searches for data or for values, for a value in the first column. Take note. It searches for value in the first column of a range and returns a value in the same column. Sorry, in the same row from a specific column. So this is the VLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP will search for a value in the first column of a range and then returns a value in the same row from a specified column. Now we're going to look at that very well. Now for the VLOOKUP also, what it does is that it can search from bottom to top, or from top to bottom. From top, the search is from top to bottom. Within a column. So that's the search. So it searches from top to bottom within a column. So let's apply this quickly. Let's go to our Excel and see what's so I'm going to open a new sheet. Yeah. So I'm just going to create some data. So let's say maybe we have products and we have sales amount. As we've done before, let's say product A, product B, product C, and then the sales amount is, let's say, 500, 400, and let's say here 300, and here is 400. So let's see the VLOOKUP. So let's search for it and see what we have. What's the syntax for VLOOKUP? We need to type the VLOOKUP. You can see it has appeared, so you can just double click it. You can see, you can see the syntax, the lookup value. Now, so what value do we want to look for? So let's say we want to look for product A. So I've just put A. We're looking for product O because that is the lookup, what we are looking for. Then let's select the array or the range. So what will be the range? Let's say the range will be from here, this A4, my A4 to this place. So we've selected it, that's to B6. Then the next thing is the column index number. So what's the column index number there? What's the index number of the column there?
Column 1.
Okay. Y1 for the product A. Because we are dealing with product A. Think.
Is B
Is before.
B4?
B4.
Yeah.
So are we writing the B4? Like that? Or we are just writing. Now, if you look at this, we'll just write the 4 here because it's A4 really. I tried the A4. This is product A and A4. Then we can return. The next thing is, what do we have in the next sentence? False, you can see, true means approximate match. If you want it to match exactly. But false means exact and approximately. False means the exact match. So let's put false if we want, because we want the exact match, and then close it and see. So we have an error here. So, okay, moving or deleting cells cause an invalid. Let me see. There's an invalid cell reference there. Let me see. Yeah, we get them. Let me see. Okay. A2 to B4. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's supposed to be 2. Yeah. Now I can see the sales, it has returned 500. Fulfill it. Yeah, why is it showing us? Because nothing is there. Now, the major confusion in this VLOOKUP table in the syntax is that column index. And then you have to be careful with that column index. Now, let's go back to the syntax again. Let me write it again so that it will show here. VLOOKUP. So we have lookup value, table array, column index. Now, the column index number is the table array, this table array from which we retrieve the value from. So the column index number where we retrieve this particular value from. Let me open here, sorry. Where we retrieve this particular number. So it is in 2. So, and that's why we are using that there. Any question on this? Because that is the confusing, the column index number there.
Yes, please. I'm kind of confused about this VLOOKUP. I didn't get the explanation. Can you go over it again, please?
Okay. So I'll reshare my screen back to this.
Okay.
Back to the notes. So we said the VLOOKUP what it does is that it will search for a value in the first column of a range of data and then returns a value in the same row from where a specified column. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So from what we did, remember we have the product A. So it will search through that column in product A and then return a value in a row that is in that is a row, a value that is in the row of that product A. And that's why we are receiving 500 here. Is that clear enough? So it's search from top to bottom within the column. So it will go from top of that column and search for the value within that column and return it in a row that particular data is. So let's go back to the Excel. Now, let's do another one. Maybe let's do another example. Maybe that one we verify it. I'm looking for a data to use. Okay, let's create another table. So let's say now we have like four fields: product ID. We have price, and then we have stock. So let's say for the product, maybe we have apple. We have banana. Hope I spelled my banana well. Okay, banana. And then maybe we have cherry. And then we have date. Product ID, anything. Let's say A1, 2, 3. Let's say this one is B. Let's just put anything. 4, 5, 6. Let's say C, 7, 8, 9. And then let's say D0, 1, 2. Okay. Let's see the price. 115 naira. 80 naira. 200 naira. Say 120 naira. Let's say 120. Let's say how many stock? Let's say 100 stocks. 150 stocks. And let's say 200 stocks. Let's say like 250 stock. Remember, we say the VLOOKUP will search for a value in the first column of a table array and then returns a value in the same row. So let's see let's search for something. So okay, let's say we want to find the price of the banana. The price of the banana. So let's use VLOOKUP. Remember, the advantage of this thing is actually find when the data is long. We are just using this small data set to make us know how these things work. If you have large amount of data sets, you'll not be able to scan through to see the price, because we will be having like thousands of these observations. So it becomes very difficult to be able to search, to just with your eye look at the value of a particular product. And that's why the VLOOKUP is. So we want to look for the price of, want to search for the price of banana. So so remember our syntax. Where is banana? So let's do it here. So let's look for the price of banana. So we'll use our VLOOKUP. Let's double click it. So the first thing is to select, to look for a value, lookup value. And what are we searching? We are searching for banana. So I'm putting banana here. So the next is the table array. So where was the range that we are, the array that we are searching? Array contains range of data. So what arrays are we selecting? So we are selecting from this place. This is A12, right? So selecting from A12 to the stock, the value of the stock there. That will be D15, right? So we selected the range. So the next is the column index. Now, what's the column index here? That's where the confusion is. Let's look at the column index. Who can, from what we did before, who can give us the column index?
3. Let's write 3.
Okay, why did you say 3?
Is it the stock or the price that is our concern?
Yes. We are looking for the price of banana. Banana is in what column is the price? The price of banana is in
Column
what
3.
column 3. So
Column 3.
we are using 3 there. Because the 3 is the column index. And what it means that the third column is where we can find the price of banana. And it's in column C. Column C is the third column. I believe that aspect is clear now. So since we want the exact match, we'll write false. We want the exact match, and then we'll click enter. And see what price of banana should 80. Okay, Kenneth, you can ask your question.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You said sometimes when we perform VLOOKUP, the data we deal with like maybe large set of data.
Yeah.
So in this case, how will you know? This is because we know that the index column is 3.
Yeah.
Because the data set is small. In a case where the data set is large, how will you find it?
Yeah,
for large
data,
get my question.
Yeah, for large data set, normally it is the observations that are more than the field. The fields are the column. Maybe we may have like 1 million observation, but we only have like 10 fields. The fields are the column, so it's easy to get the column index, even if the data are large. Do you get that? This is the row normally that are very large when dealing with data set. So you may have like 1 million rows and 10 columns, 15 columns, 20 columns. So you can easily get those index.
Hello,
Okay. I get now. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes?
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, let me just also throw more light from my own perspective of understanding, from what I think I understand about this VLOOKUP. If we can take an analogy from the mathematical table, like we have 1 times 1 and 15 times 15. If you are looking for 6 times 8, you just use your finger, go to where 6 is located, then count after 8. The figure you get, that is what this VLOOKUP is all about. So if you have large data that you want to look for a set number, just count the variables, look for the item, then if it is mango you are looking for, just know that mango is located at a particular place, then the price is not column what. Knowing the number of column the price is will give you a very easy access. I hope my own opinion is understood.
Yeah. Another thing is you must not even know the exact row that is. We know that banana is a product. So anywhere, I can even decide to write it here. I don't know where the banana is. I can write my VLOOKUP here. I'm just trying to look for the price of banana. I can rewrite it here anywhere. So I just know that I'm looking for banana. I don't care where that banana is, but I know that there's banana in the data set. I'll just need to select the range. I just need to select the range of data that I'm interested in. And the column, where is the price? Price is in the third column. And I want the exact match. False. And then enter. You see, we still get the 80. I don't know where that banana is, but I know that what I'm searching for is banana. And I want to know the price of banana. I believe that is clear enough.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let's see.
Yes, sir.
I want to, ask a question.
Okay, sir. Why are we ending the command with false? Since we are looking for the exact value.
Yeah, the false, that's how the syntax is. The syntax says the false is when you want to look for the exact value, you put false there. If you put true there, true means you are looking for an approximate value.
Okay.
Now let's leave that false and let's not put anything. We still have the 80. It means the default value, even if you don't put false, is the exact value. See, now we did not put false. It means the default value without putting anything is you want an exact match. I believe that has answered our.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll spend much time. We're supposed to spend 1 hour, 30 minutes in the class. We still have XLOOKUP. So that means we'll continue from X. Next, we will do XLOOKUP and data cleaning techniques. But let's practice on this. So what I want us to do now, on the charts. So let's say we want to look for, want to find the stock of cherry. Who can give me the right syntax? Write the syntax for me. Send it on the chat. Let's see. We want to search for the stock of cherry. The stock of cherry. So what is your lookup value? The range, the column index.
Can you please click on equal to VLOOKUP so that we can see the formula to know what we're writing? For those that are not using laptop though, I'm using phone.
I would rather say it than type it, please.
Okay, this is the
Okay, thank you.
Can we rather say it with word of mouth, sir?
okay. So the first thing is, let's say, what will be the lookup value?
Double quote cherry.
Okay, cherry is a lookup value. So I'm writing cherry.
Oh.
So what will be the range of the array of the table array?
A12 to D.
A12 to G15.
Okay. So what will be the column index?
4.
4.
4.
Then we need the exact mark. So I have false. Then press enter. Does it really, did it match the price of the stock of cherry? 200, you can see the 200 here. This is cherry, this is 200. So I believe everyone has gotten the syntax very well. Excellent. So let's note some common mistakes. These are the common mistakes. Your incorrect table array is a common mistake. If you have incorrect table array, you get wrong error message. So make sure that your lookup value is in the first column. Remember, when we defined VLOOKUP, we say it searches for value in the first column. So you must make sure that your lookup value is in the first column, because the VLOOKUP searches for values in the first column. So your lookup value must be in the first column. Take note of that. And then column index. Can God, everybody now know
Sorry,
how
sir.
to, yes?
Does it mean that the products, now the products, apple, banana, cherry, and dates, if they were on column C or D, it wouldn't have worked?
Yes, it will not work. And that's the limitation of the VLOOKUP. It will not work. So it must be on that first column. Let me share the notes, what we wrote, our note there.
Hello, sir.
Yes?
Yeah, I got an error message from when I used the, I'm expecting to get the exact value, but it's giving me an error message. What could be wrong?
Okay, so it's either, you wrote the syntax the way we wrote it, right?
Yeah, I have Sherry.
But are you sure your table exactly match how it is here? Because we started from
Yes,
the product is
I
on
did
row.
the same. Okay, I'm from the formula, I can see that there's this double comma.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the
double quotation mark. So it has to be there, because this is a string. Normally you put strings inside double quotation mark.
I think yes, sir.
This lookup value, since it's a string, cherry is a text, so it needs to be inside double quotation mark.
What do you mean by string, sir?
Things are like text. They are not numbers, they are text. So it's a data type. So we'll be learning different data types that we'll have in our data sets, because it is very important. You need to know the type of data you are working with. So in next week, we'll look at the different data types that we have, and then that we'll be working with. So for you to get, you must make sure follow the way you typed it in your Excel. Select the column correctly, the table array. Make sure the cherry is in your first column, and pick the right column index. Okay, I think this is where we're going to end the class for today. I believe we've gained value from today's class. I'll give instruction on how you answer the data set I sent in the table of values. So can invite others to join. The class is free, so you can invite your friends to come and join us as we learn together. And this is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you everyone for joining the class. I hope to see us next week. And let's have a beautiful weekend ahead of us.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.